Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to be talking about My Hero Academia episode 13. We're going to be talking about Infinite 100%. So, first off, I kind of had some mixed thoughts to begin with. When I first saw the episode, that was just because I'd already known what was going to happen here because I'd read the chapters ahead of time. So I was really anticipating this fight. And I think part of it was just the color scheme as well as like certain things that they left out, specifically like civilians being in the area, things like that. Or civilians just in their homes kind of noticing the shockwaves, stuff like that. I felt like it made it a lot more interesting to watch. Even though there wasn't too much with that, it just added a little extra dimension to the fight. Noting that this is just happening in the middle of a street. There are people just in their homes, just relaxing, and then they just hear this giant boom of this fight, things like that. I thought it was really cool that they added that in the actual written story. So not having that here kind of threw me off, and then also with the addition of the colors, I think it looked kind of weird for me, specifically with Deku basically looking like a weird Super Saiyan. I think after I watched it a few times, I liked it a little bit more, but it did kind of feel a little bit weird in terms of the coloring, but that could just be me. I think it might just be it's probably just me for that, but I think specifically for Chisaki, I did not like how his arms looked. The coloring really I didn't like it for me. I think his regular body, his regular outfit looked fine to me. But just adding the colors of the arms and legs that he added to himself later on, it just looked kind of weird. And I reviewed the manga, and it was pretty much the same exact fight. I thought I guess I just misremembered part of it, but I didn't remember him becoming that giant monster and everything. So that was kind of weird for me to watch, but I think overall it was just the red color for me didn't really work. And I understand the red coloring versus the green coloring of Deku, it kind of because they're complementary colors, they really showed each other, I guess they made each other more distinct in terms of how they were on the screen together. But I think a different coloring or even a darker tone, I don't know, it just looked a little bit weird for me. But overall, with the actual fight, I really enjoyed. Apart from the color, it worked really well. I think the only thing is just showing that impact that other people are also out there, civilians that could also be catching glimpses of this fight that are going on. I think that would have been cool to see. So yeah, that's pretty much the only thing that I didn't really like about that. But outside of that, this episode was done really well. I pretty much loved the scene where you had Eri's backstory as well as Chisaki's history with Eri and how he kind of got acquainted with her and started experimenting on her as soon as they met, and how he kind of decided, oh, I have this theory of how the Hisaikai, the Japanese mafia, can once again rise to the top of the criminal underworld. I thought that was really cool, and well done. But the whole thing with Night Eye as well as your Ochigo, is that her name? And all the other superheroes that are down still in the chasm. I thought that was also really cool to see how other people are perceiving what's going on. And I really enjoyed my favorite parts of the story were when Deku uses 100% of his power for the first time without realizing it. His whole reaction to that, thinking that his legs might be broken, and his initial freak out. And then landing, realizing he's okay, and then realizing that this is Eri's power. And then from there, Chisaki's reaction and being yo, you can't stop her from destroying you. You are gonna die. And then Deku's entire response to that is nope. If she's just gonna erase my past or my body, I'm just gonna have to keep breaking it so that all she's doing is healing me back to where I was. And I thought that was really cool. In terms of logically, I have no idea if that actually I mean, why wouldn't she just still revert him back to a point without a quirk or things like that? But I think that's partially because she has no idea what she's doing. So I kind of think part of it was just luck of the draw. He got lucky, and it kind of worked out in his favor in that moment. I'm really excited to see what happens in the next episode for the like right after part of this fight, because it's really cool to see that part too. I remember reading that, and that was really interesting to see too. As well as going back to what's happening with the other superheroes as the fight pretty much winded down. My favorite part of this fight was probably when you have Deku doing the final hit on Chisaki, and then just having Night Eye say, "This is not the future that I saw," but also Chisaki's eye, when you zoom in on it, you can see like little sparks of lightning from Deku, and I thought the artwork in that moment was really, really well done. So yeah, I really enjoyed that part. And then also just the initial moment where he goes full cowl 100%, where he's like, "Bro, I'm about to pop off on you, and you better be ready. Because I have nothing to fear at this moment. I'll just be healed anytime I break my body. I won't feel any of the pain because of how quickly I'm being healed, and I won't even like see any pain. It's gonna be awesome." So like that was really, really cool. So yeah, that was really cool to see. And then let me see, is there anything else here? Yeah, so I guess one of the last things is the kind of weirdness with Deku's animation at the end, towards the end of the fight, specifically where he did like the million punches in the air. This was not in the manga, so I was really confused when I saw it. And it's not like they can't deviate from it. It's just it basically looked like they were taking a panel out of One Punch Man at the moment. Specifically, I think it was like an actual move that he used in season 1 of his show, where it's like 100 consecutive normal punches or whatever, where you just see a bajillion punches in front of him, in front of the person that's like about to be hit. It looked 100% exactly like that, and I looked back on the panels and they didn't do that in the manga, so I was like, did the studio just not realize that this is an actual thing that another big character already does? And it just looked really like they just copied someone else's like ability. So that kind of looked really weird for me. But I mean, apart from that, I really enjoyed the animation. I loved the lightning coming off of Deku. I really loved his like super serious face as soon as he like came out from the shadow pretty much in the sky and just like finally bammed into Chisaki's face. And then like the whole scene where Naida is just like, "I saw the future. I saw a future that cannot be changed. When I see the future, that is what happens." And yet this man did exactly what he said he would do. He changed what the future was, and he won this battle. He did not get killed, and it was just awesome to see that. And then the last thing is like the last like 2 seconds is the screen is basically like black and white, and you see Night Eye's like face, the top of his face, and then you see the bottom of his face, and it shifts to a smile. But I think that might be that he's like about to pass out or something like that. I have no idea as to what other reason they would have for changing the color tone in that moment. I wasn't really sure about that, but yeah, that was a little weird to me, but I thought it was really cool to have like him just smile and be like, "Look, I think this guy knows what he's talking about now." I see what All Might saw in him. I think that he might actually be the guy to be the new #1 hero. And I really love that like kind of moment of acknowledgement. I just wish it wasn't like 2 seconds long, because it was very easy to miss. I got confused the first time I saw it. I had to go back and like look at it and actually like look at it a couple of times. Be like, "Oh, this is Night Eye just smiling at the end." So yeah, that was interesting. And then also the whole thing at the beginning of the episode as to how like Ochiko and then I forget what her name is. Oh, Azui, as well as the pro hero that they're working under, and the one of the big three, I forget her name. How they all end up like falling into the hole. How that whole thing comes about with Toka, I believe that's the villain's name, pretending to be Deku and like leading them to where Deku is in the middle of his fight. So I thought everything story-wise was really well together. I was really anticipating this fight. I really enjoyed it. It's just a few color things that I didn't really like, but I think overall it was really, really cool. And this is kind of a super defining moment for Deku, because this is kind of like the same moment that Red Riot had earlier on the season, where this is like his moment to shine in the public, working as a hero. So I thought that was really, really cool. So yeah, did you guys watch this episode? What do you guys think? If you guys want me to talk more about My Hero, I think I might just do a few videos about previous fights as well from this season, because like there were some pretty good fights in this season that we've seen so far. So yeah, I'll probably be doing a few more videos on that in the near future. So if you enjoyed, please like, let me know if you want more videos like this. And yeah, let me know what your thoughts are if you watch this episode or if you're planning on watching it. What do you think so far for this season? So yeah, that's all I have to say, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!